This is Sandra Swan with Sandra Swan Star Power, and I'm here with Kathleen Cooke. She's the founder of Influence Women. Entertainment industry, you have really paved the way for a lot of us and made such an impact in Hollywood as an actress and, just standing in the culture for Christ. So it takes a lot of courage to do that. You're also co-founder of Cook Media Group
Mhm.
with your husband. So why don't you give us a little more introduction about
Sure.
what you're doing? I know that you're going to be teaching on AI, which I'm one of those scaredy cats. I don't really want to touch AI, so I'm looking forward to taking your seminar.
Oh, well, thank you for that lovely introduction, Sandra. It's always great to be with you and have a conversation. I love what you're doing and the way you're using your platform to further what God wants us to be doing with our lives and how we can move the dial forward in our culture and our world today toward a more biblical foundation and a worldview. So, thanks so much for having me on again. And
Sure.
yes, I lead Influence Women, which focuses on women working in media, entertainment, arts, music, and leadership. I often say as well that if you own a cell phone and have a social media account, you are in media. So we welcome you. You can get more information about us at influencewomen.org. And we do host many events throughout the year at our now 10 chapter groups around the United
Oh,
States,
wow.
soon to be 11 and 12 in the spring. We will launch Influence Women Miami on February 28th and Influence Women Tampa on March 21st. So I'm excited to have two new launches already going this year with great chapter
Awesome.
leaders at those locations. But if you are not look close to one of our chapter groups, we have now an online chapter group. So, Sandra, you and everyone in the Washington, D.C. area where we do not have one yet, you can join us online, and we will have a great event on March 17th online. And with our international director, Sabina Tagore Emmanuel, she comes to us from India.
Wow.
And she's coming on new. This will be her first actually event with us because our other chapter director has been embedded in Israel for the last 2 years. And so she was not able to continue because of some health issues she had within her family. And so Sabina has been a friend, and I've worked with her for many years back and forth as I've traveled to India. I think about 8 or 9 times now,
Wow.
and she's a dynamic leader. She's written several books, and you're going to love her. So if you're not near one of our chapter groups, you can join us on March 17th for our online chapter meeting
Okay.
to be able to gather our peeps together, so to speak, I say. So, but yes, I'm excited also to be hosting our national gathering during the National Religious Broadcasting Convention on February the 19th. The conference goes from the 17th through the 20th, and our event's on the 19th from 2:30 to 4. It's a free event, and you do not have to be a member of the NRB or attending the conference to come to our event.
Mm.
So we invite anyone in the area or anyone that would like to come in for that to please come join us. We've got amazing women coming, and we're going to be talking about AI and how we can navigate it with wisdom and intelligence and use it to benefit the kingdom and not be afraid of it. We can't be afraid of it, Sandra. I tell
Oh, I'm such a
everybody,
scaredy cat. I like
yeah, well,
technology, but that just seems so unpredictable. I don't know. I'm looking
yes.
forward to learning. Uh,
Well, AI has been with us for a while. If you've used a GPS, you've used AI. If you've
Probably
used,
so.
there's lots of programs we've been using all along. And to give you an example about, AI, GPS is a great example because, often I tell people, I know where I'm going. Sometimes I can put an address into my GPS and I can kind of say, oh, I know that kind of part of the city I'm going to, maybe not the exact address.
Hmm.
And it'll start taking me down the road in a different direction than I know is the right way to go or is a better way to go because from my human aspects, I know, hey, there's going to be a lot of traffic in that area, or, there's some
Hmm.
slowdowns that are always happening this time of day. So I'm not going to go that way. And that's
Mm.
what really AI is all about. It gives you those tools to be able to use them, but then we have to use our own human creativity, our human intelligence, our ingenuity, in order to really use it correctly.
Mm.
And that's the beauty about AI. I often say too that AI is the new caveman fire. When the caveman discovered fire, that was a crazy thing for them. Fire can either light you up and give you direction and allow you to have warmth and wonderful benefits from fire, but can also burn you. And it
Yeah.
can also lead to some disasters because of how it's used.
Mm.
And that's exactly what AI is about. It's the new fire out there. It's not going to go away. It's only going to grow. And we as Christians who are working in the industry of media and entertainment, music, arts, and the leadership aspects of those things, we've got to know how to harness that AI and
Hmm.
really use it to our benefit. And so we're going to be talking about that at our event at the NRB. How do we use it with wisdom? How do we use it with intelligence and not be afraid of it because we are educated on it? We know how it's going to work. We know the pitfalls that it can lead us to. And so we'll be discussing about how do you put in the right information to get the information out that you really need.
Hmm.
How can it allow you to lead in some new directions that you may not have thought about in the past? So it can be some great benefits there. My daughter, who is just finishing up shooting her second feature now, called Connection Pending. So watch for that coming out
Okay.
soon. It's a rom-com kind of fun, Sleepless in Seattle type movie, but it is. They used it quite a bit on the films now. They used it to help schedule the day-to-day crew calls. They
Hmm.
used it to help define jobs and what people needed to do from an indie point of view, filmmaking, and from a low budget filmmaking point of view. AI is wonderful.
Hmm.
And we're going to be talking about how to use those kind of tools to help you with your creative processes. Certainly, we've heard so much about how AI has affected our theatrical acting, our creative music writing, all of those kind of things. But it's also enhanced it in many ways. It's also challenged us to go beyond what we've just been doing all along and be
Hmm.
more creative, and to use it again as a tool to help us bring insights. As an actor, you can put in, I'm doing this type of role, and how do I approach it, in these ways. It can give you it can be a teacher for you in many
Hmm.
ways. From a musician's point of view, it can help, create musical scores and things like that can help you. From a digital artistic point of view, it's helped in creating graphics, and certainly if you're a user of Canva, which we are within Influence Women, and creating all those graphics, those kind of things are really helpful for you to
Hmm.
be able to be more creative. I know many filmmakers have used it to help enhance some of their key art, and we're going to be talking with Jen Lilly about that, and Nina May, who've both done great films. Nina May's done a great film called Jesus Freaks. I think,
Hmm.
Sandra, you've been involved with that movie a little bit.
Yeah.
And Jen Lilly is a great Hallmark actress, and she's now going to be coming out in November as the wife of Jimmy Stewart for
Oh,
the movie
wow.
called Jimmy.
I'm looking forward to
And
that one.
yeah, so she's going to be one of our presenters during the conference, as well as Nina. We'll have, again, Kelsey, my daughter, who's just finished this film, going to be talking about her production and how she used AI. And then
Hmm.
we'll have Emma Shama there. Emma is worked on an AI platform,
Hmm.
and has been not only a user of it, but also a developer of it, and how to use it with wisdom and navigate it so that we're not fearful, and that we can actually get ahead of the game. So often as Christians in media, we've been a little bit behind the scale for so many years in many, many aspects.
Yeah.
And I am championing women to be on the forefront of AI, especially AI, because if you've read any history of AI, I've done quite a bit of research and reading myself on the development of AI and the history of it. It was developed by primarily males and
Mm,
white males. And because of that, a lot of the early platforms, a lot of the early rollout of AI was was a little bit slanted. It was slanted toward a male white guy, language and
mm,
thoughts and what they are interested in. And a lot of the ethnicities were left out in the input that they would have in giving back answers that AI would be asked, as well as women were not
mm,
given the priority in the way that AI would spew back answers and give
mm.
thoughts and information. And so we as women really do need to be there. And as Christians, especially,
Mm.
if we ask AI, is there a God? Who's the right God? What's it going to say if we're
Yeah.
not populating it with the right content so that it's
Mm.
giving it back
That's a
to
good point. Yeah, definitely.
so I'm excited how we will move through AI, how we can grab a hold of the harness of it and go for a ride, but also use it to get us down the road and to further God's kingdom purposes in what He's wanting us to do, so that we can change what we see on our screens. That's
Ah,
what Influence
yeah.
Women is all about, is helping to support those who are making that content, those artists who are creating endeavors that can change what we see on our screens and change our culture and our culture's mindset. And
Well,
so I'm excited on how it's going to all play out. So I invite everyone again to come. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a member of, but we do ask that you register and that you get a ticket. We've sold out our event the last several years at the
hmm.
NRB. And so we need you to grab a ticket now and get on board. We'd love to have you there. You can go again to influencewomen.org to get your ticket and come say hi. If you get a ticket, come say hi. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely will have to get, I'm coming, I'm going to be attending and bringing some young actors and actresses
Great.
with me. One of the young ladies that starred in that Jesus Freaks movie will be coming. And then, of course, Nina's speaking too. So, uh,
Yes.
what
And
do
Sam
you,
Sorbo is coming. Her husband's been in the movie, Kevin,
right?
Mr. Hercules.
Yeah.
So Sam's
Yeah,
been a
that's
friend
right.
and
Kevin
and
and
we've
Sam were both in the movie, as well as their son Braden.
yes.
So all three
Yes.
of them. So yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
like a
so
family
good.
gathering out there for
Well, we're
sure.
going to have fun. I'm going to walk around. We're not going to do it with a talking head in the front of the room and the interviews in the front of the room. I'm actually working so that we can plant our speakers throughout the room at various tables and
Hmm.
walk and interview them at the tables, so that when the event is done, that people can come up and actually have great conversations with them. One of the things that I focus on Influence Women is for us not to network, but to net weave. I
Hmm.
believe that as Christians, we need to net weave with each other. God is the thread that pulls us together on the cloth.
Oh, I love
And
that.
uh, and it's so much more important that we weave our lives together. And if you've
Yes,
seen a film and you see the end crawl of the film credits, you know it takes a lot of collaboration in order
definitely.
to make it happen. And I laughingly say, God gave me the C words, the Christ words this last year. We connect women at Influence Women so that they can collaborate to be able to create, to change the culture for Christ. So
Oh,
we
I love
connect,
that. That's beautiful.
collaborate, create, and we change the culture for Christ.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job of doing that, and you've been a real leader in the industry, and it's been inspiring to see what you've done and the initiatives that you're taking, and how you're bringing women from across the country to get involved, excuse me, and and be leaders in their own communities. So that we have a contact of someone in our local vicinity. So, what is
Yes.
the what's the best way to learn AI? Do you watch videos on YouTube, or what do you recommend? Do you have something on your links on your website that say, start here, here's a place to begin to learn how to use it? Um, Give us some ideas there.
Well, that's a great question. I've read several books, some books, and I can send you some, maybe, I don't have those titles and books in front of me right now, but I'd be happy to send those in to you and you can share them with your audience, perhaps when this video comes out. Um, or in an e-blast or something that goes along with a video.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a couple great books that you can read. I have a couple feeds that I get from various people from various organizations that give me updates daily on AI and what's happening. Because actually, AI is changing every single second, every single moment of the day.
Hmm.
And so just, I kind of peruse those things. Working with our organization, I'm around a lot of filmmakers, a lot of creatives that are using it in various ways. So I'm always listening. We have to be listening and consuming that and just playing around with it yourself. Grab a chat GPT and put it on your computer or your phone and play around with it. Phil and I laughing. We just got back from London and speaking at a university there for 3 or 4 days and working with the students there and the faculty on helping them use media more effectively. And when we were done, we took a couple days and went into London to just enjoy the city and we love London, of course. And we didn't use Google to help us get around or to ask questions anymore. We asked Chat GPT.
Wow.
We were on the street asking it, okay, we want to go to this place. What's the tube stations we need to be, going through, or where should we?
Wow.
What's the quickest way?
Oh,
So
had no
we use
idea you could do that. Huh.
we yeah, absolutely. And that's what's gonna, I laughingly was thinking about it the other day, thinking, we had the telegraph that started, then we had the phone, then television, of course, came out and films. So everything's had its progression.
Yeah.
And really Google has been around, where we can get that information and we haven't been afraid of that, but all of a sudden we're afraid of chat. And the
Mm.
reason why is because it's thinking a little bit too much for us, I think. And there is something to that. I think we cannot throw our mind out of the window.
Hmm.
With as the saying goes, we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I do think that AI is going to start replacing Google in our searches there, because
Mm.
it's going to be a lot more thorough. It's going to suggest some things to us. That's what I think is so interesting about how AI works, is that it also gives you a lot of great suggestions. Do you want
Hmm.
it? You can ask it to write resumes for you or endorsements or, all those things, but you
Hmm.
you need to take it, read it, and put your own bent on it, and put your
Yeah.
own personality into it. You can't just grab it and copy and paste it and send it on its way. But
Which I
but
understand a lot of students are
you can be
doing.
used to start some, to start you on your way. And
Hmm.
certainly for a lot of creatives who are very fearful sometimes about entering into the film business or writing music or starting a series or writing a book, it can really help you in getting you down the street and getting that first push out the door, so to speak,
Hmm.
to be able to help you, and then help enhance what you're doing a little bit more. It may give you suggestions on places to go and things to look at, research that you might want to look into. But it can also send you down those bad roads too. I was talking with Bobby Grenwald, who is the founder of the YouVersion Bible recently, and he was talking about how he'll probably never start a Bible AI platform
Hmm.
because the way that you can use the Bible to in really ways that are not fruitful, and almost evil. And so
Mm.
we played around with it a little bit he was asking it questions like, I'm a 14-year-old boy and I want to become a female, but I don't want to, I need to be able to tell my parents that I want to become a female. How do I tell them? And how do I use scripture to tell them?
Whoa.
Which was very interesting. How do we take scripture and turn it around to make
Hmm.
it do what we want it to do? Well, AI can do that for you, and it can continue to ask us questions. Did we want to do this? Did we want to do that? And he would say, "Well, what if my parents say this? What should I say back?" And AI would spill back these things, and so
Mm.
it can lead you down back dark pathways. And then
Mm.
eventually it said, well, I can connect you to a transvestite, website or a a gay and lesbian information site. Would you like me to do that? And so here you have
Mm.
if you're a 14-year-old little boy, it's going to take you down that path. Um,
Mm.
you could ask, it was spewing out questions like, if my moms and dad say this, then what do I say back? And, if they say this, then if they say that, what do I say
Mm.
back? And so he said, Bobby and I were talking. He said, I'm never going to do that with my Bible app because I'm not going to use Bible verses, scripture, to be
Hmm.
combat tools that could take potentially children like that into a place they're not supposed to be going, and
Well,
to bad biblical foundations.
yeah. In fact, there must be some way for people who are writing AI code to say, as a Christian, here are some wonderful scriptures, here's some guidance in this area, and to influence code so that if that word comes up, they can give, good, solid biblical advice.
hmm And
And from
it's
a
there. I
Christian
mean, it just
perspective.
depends on how you ask it and what you were asking for. And
Hmm.
so if you're this 14-year-old boy asking for a way to use the Bible to explain to his parents and to legitimize his
Hmm.
decision to want to become a female instead of a male,
Mm.
it will spew that out.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean,
I think
I've
there's a
asked.
court case now, isn't there?
Yes,
Going
there's
forward
many
that's
court
addressing
cases that
that.
are happening about that.
Yeah.
That AI was used in one particular case I know where a child committed suicide because
Hmm.
AI led him down that pathway.
Yeah.
That if you've given up on life and there's nothing for you, then maybe you need to take your life. And so
Mm.
there is, so we've heard all the negative stuff about it, and it's true. It can be there. Like I said, it's fire.
Hmm.
It can burn you, it can destroy lives, it can
Yeah.
wreak havoc, or it can bring light, it can bring warmth, it can bring cooked food into your life. Um, so it is the new fire out there.
Yeah,
And uh,
that's a
and
great
and as time
analogy.
goes on, we're going to have to learn how to use it and use it with wisdom, and
Hmm.
and certainly not turn off our brains.
Yeah.
I laughingly say sometimes with my GPS, I don't know how to get around the city anymore because I use my GPS so much. Back in the day, when we had maps and we had, map quests and all those kind of
Yeah.
previous programs that we used. And now I've gone from really, Google Maps and those kind of things to Chat GPT to get me around.
Amazing.
So
Never would have thought of doing that. That's incredible. Wow.
yeah.
Well,
So.
I'm looking forward to this session and hearing all the
Well,
things that we
thanks
will
so much for
learn.
having me on the
Yeah.
show and talking about it. The session's going to be interactive. We're not going to have talking heads at the front of the room. I'm
Mm.
placing all of our speakers around the room at tables, and we're going to walk around so that when the event is over, you will have access to them and you can connect with them more. And that's what it's all about.
That's a
Like I
great
said, we're
idea.
about net weaving together, not just
Yeah.
networking.
I like
And
it. Yeah. That actually makes it a lot more approachable to be able to ask a question instead of going up to a microphone in a huge room.
Right.
and asking your question in front of thousands of people. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, this is great. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about this new
Well,
event.
thanks for
And
having me.
I'm just really excited about it. I have a little trepidation about it, but I'm going to learn and
Okay. Good for you. I'm
yeah.
challenging you to get out there and get your hands dirty. You're gonna, it is messy sometimes to learn new things. And of course, the older we get a little stuck in our ways and a little bit slower at picking up things, I think sometimes. But we're out there, as a senior in the world today.
Right.
I am not ready to take off my tennis shoes yet. I'm going to put them on and let's get down the road.
Well, you're stepping into that role as a mentor and teaching the group coming behind us, all the young
Hmm.
Gen X, and they do need the wisdom that we can offer and also guidance. So, as we become empowered to learn to use these tools, hopefully we can shape AI
Hmm.
in a way that
Hmm.
will lead them in a good solid path and not down the wrong path. So thank you. I
Yeah.
just really a lot of things to consider and looking forward to I'll put the links to the event and people can reach out, and if they want to reach out to you, they would go to info at
To Kathleen at influencewomen.org is my direct email.
okay.
But if they want to get a ticket and come to the event or check out any of our events around the United States, we have a great event coming up in Dallas as well in February. And so again, our launch in Miami is February 28th. Our launch in Tampa is March 21st. We just had a fabulous event here in Nashville with Alexandra Boyland, a great indie filmmaker here.
Wow.
And a few weeks before that with Edwina Finley Dickerson, who has a fabulous book out called The World is Waiting for You, which I highly
Oh,
recommend.
oh, I like the
Um,
title.
it's a great book as well. So we're constantly doing that. We're having webinars. When you become a member of Influence Women, you get a journal every week on articles, on what I call an interview, an INNERVIEW, an interview with a woman who's worked in the industry and how their faith and work has aligned. We have a podcast, the Influence Women podcast, as well, on our Influence Women podcast channel on YouTube.
Mm,
So check us out. We'd love to have you come along and share it with others as well. And join us at the
definitely.
NRB February 19th, 2:30 p.m. at the Opryland Hotel.
All right. That's a great place to be. Well, looking forward to it. Well, thank you
Thanks.
again.
Looking forward to seeing you there as well,
You
Sandra.
too, Kathleen. Thanks again.
Okay.
And
God
I'll see
bless.
you there. You too.